This is Stephen Means, joined by the one and only Marvin Harrison Jr. in an area he knows well, the end zone. I think you've gotten in here 30-plus times in your career. And just talk about the fact that you are a Heisman Trophy finalist. And as a wide receiver, when you look at that Ohio State wide receiver room and that lineage, to get to this point for that wide receiver room, what does it mean for you, and then what does it mean for the room?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. I'm surprised I'm the first one, really, with all the talent that we've had in that room. And I'm just glad I can represent that room, on a big stage like the being a Heisman finalist, and just bring awareness to Zone 6 really as a whole, and always debates about who's wide receiver you and things like that. So I'm glad I can kind of put on a show for them.
Any previews to what the suit is going to look like?
No previews. It's something I haven't worn before, though, I will say that.
You talk about the wide receiver you conversation, and you mentioned it over there when we were talking to LSU and Alabama are in that conversation. Mm-hmm. If you had to say just top 5, don't have to rank them.
Yeah.
Top 5 wide receiver schools in college football.
Ooh, okay. I put Ohio State 1. Put Alabama 2. I'll put LSU 3. USC 4. And 5, Clemson.
The disappointment of your career, the team accomplishments, obviously, and I think you've harped on that enough.
Yeah. What's
the proudest moment of your career, both as a team and then individually?
Just being consistent with my routine, really. Obviously, what happened Saturday is just all, God's will, whenever He decides to do on that Saturday. But just me coming in here and all the late nights and early mornings, catching passes, throwing routes with the quarterbacks, and trying to prepare myself the best I can for Saturdays is what I'm most proud of.
When you're making a decision this important, and I think we all have to remember that you're still in your early 20s. It's not like you're 35 making this decision on, hey, do I do this or do that with my life? But who are you talking to about it? Who is helping you come to this decision that, quite frankly, is probably the most important thing you've done since you picked Ohio State?
Yeah, luckily I have a dad who's kind of been through the process before, and I have my mom and some teammates and coaches as well. But really just thinking to myself a lot what I want to do. I'm an adult at the end of the day, and I can make my own decisions, but definitely having some people that can help you is definitely beneficial.
Since we're standing in the end zone, what's your favorite touchdown?
Favorite touchdown. Ooh, there's a lot.
You have 31 to choose from.
31, really. I can't even believe I scored 30. It doesn't even feel like 30 touchdowns. I would say my first one in the Rose Bowl. Really, those first 3 in the Rose Bowl, I would say, are my favorites. Just it was kind of me introducing myself to the college football world at the time, and I think my first one was on a 4th and 1, and we threw a fade ball. Coach Day just trusts the freshman out there in the Rose Bowl to throw a fade ball to him, so I would say that was probably my favorite touchdown.
Were you nervous at all before? Because that's actually a crazy call.
Yeah.
Of all the people to go through, let's go to the freshman who's never done anything. Were you nervous at all? What are you thinking about in that moment?
I guess I've shown to him in practice that he trusts me to go out there and make the play, and I think that play was definitely showed me that he has a lot of trust in me to go out there and make a play on 4th and 1. We have Trayvon Henderson in the backfield, we have C.J. Stroud, Jackson Smith-Njigba, so many other options to go through with the ball. He chose me. I think even the last touchdown that game, he kind of waved off the play and said, just throw the fade to Marvin in the corner of the end zone. It just gave me a lot of confidence moving forward. So I definitely thank Coach Day for that.
A couple of other things. I think when people think of Marvin Harrison Jr. and the impact you've had on that wide receiver room, they talk about your work ethic first. We've been joking about it for 3 years. Every time we're in here, we see you in here. And there's always different people in here. And even, I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the year, how Garrett talked about how you raised that ceiling in that room. How much pride do you take in that? And you said something at Big Ten Media Days that has stuck with me, the common amongst the uncommon. What does that mean?
I think when you come to Ohio State and you're into that receiver room, you're with the best receivers in the country on college football, year in and year out. And we all strive to be, the best in that room. And then when you're the best in that room, you're obviously going to be the best in the country because there's so many great talents around you, and you have no choice but to learn from the people ahead of you, and even sometimes the people below you. Like I learned a lot from Carnell this year, and Brandon and Noah and Bryson, just what they've been able to teach me. So definitely a special room, and we all just try to be the best that we can be.
Last thing here. We did this thing on our pod where we did a Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. You obviously made the list. I'm assuming you make your own list because that's weird if you don't.
Yeah.
Who are the other 3 people who joined that Mount Rushmore with Marvin Harrison Jr.?
With me? Okay, if I'm on it, if I have to say I'm on it, Chris Carter, Ooh, we gotta leave somebody out now if I'm on it. David Boston. I gotta go Michael Jenkins. He has the most yards. So no, I can't. I can't leave Chris out. Okay, let's start over. We got Chris Carter, Chris Olave.
I'll give you a fifth guy.
Fifth guy, okay. Okay, then I'll put David, Boston, Michael Jenkins in there.
Okay, the fifth guy can just like stand on top of the mountain and just like
I'll
pose.
be the fifth guy.
That's fair.
I'm gonna stand on top of the mountain.
That's fair.
They can be the big faces.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for joining us today, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a Heisman Trophy finalist, and I'm me. Check out our podcast wherever you find Buckeye Talk and get the text 614-350-3315. 2-week feature out $3.99 after that.